I'm Justin Pogue, CEO and founder of Rental Secrets. We teach renters how landlords think so they can get the most for their rental dollar. And we show landlords the value renters bring to the table beyond the monthly rent check. It's amazing to me the subjects that are simply not taught in school or not taught until the graduate school level. Here are the 5 things I wish someone had clued me into at the beginning of my career. Number 1, you have a personal brand. Just like all these big companies, they spend massive resources every year ensuring that when you think of their name, certain specific images and feelings come to mind. The same is true of your personal brand. What do you want people to imagine, think, or feel when they hear your name? Consciously decide on what your brand should represent. Cultivate that and nourish it with each interaction you have and every product or service you create. If you look at the interviews that I've done, archived at rentalsecrets.net/media, you'll see that I'm building the Rental Secrets brand little by little. What I want people to immediately think of when they hear Rental Secrets is authentic real estate guidance that highlights options that renters and landlords never knew existed. I want Rental Secrets to feel empowering, refreshing, and hopeful. Number 2, you are far more capable than you think. Early in my career, I was managing a 32-unit apartment building located in the southeastern part of the United States. There were 2 two-story buildings on the property with a drainage canal behind built to divert stormwater. During one summer, we experienced a torrential rainstorm. Water was everywhere. The ground was soaked. But things quickly went from bad to worse when the drainage canal got blocked downstream, resulting in my property getting flooded. Residents on the first floor were pushing towels under their front doors in a vain attempt to keep the water out. Meanwhile, all I could do was watch the water rise from the second floor. I'd never been through a flood before. I didn't really know what to do. So I just started by asking questions. Who handles situations like this? Disaster recovery companies. So I called one, only to be told it would cost $2,000 per apartment just to rip everything out and clean up. I was doing the math in my head and it wasn't a pretty picture. 16 apartments multiplied by $2,000 each was $32,000 that I did not have. But it led to the next question. What were the steps they were going to take and what resources were required to implement them? That question put me on track to create the plan that had all 16 apartments up and running 3 days later. While I initially doubted I could handle the situation, through that experience, I learned that I was more capable than I was giving myself credit for. It's very likely you may be doubting yourself right now. Don't. You are far more capable than you think. Number 3, relationships are key. Clearly, the disaster recovery service was not the right answer to my flood situation. So my next phone call was to my carpet cleaning vendor because I thought they would have water extraction equipment. But you have to understand that this flood wasn't only affecting me, it was impacting the whole town. That vendor was fielding calls from all of their clients. But the fact that they not only answered my phone call that night, but came on site to help me assess the damage, is a testament to the quality of the relationship that I had built with them over the previous 2 years. They could have easily put me off until tomorrow or the next day. That would have been totally understandable given the magnitude of what was happening. So when you're thinking about what to do next, always lean in favor of strengthening your relationships. Number 4, share your message. Never be afraid or embarrassed to share your message. It is true that some people will shy away from it, but it is also true that others will be attracted to it. They will gravitate towards you because the message you're putting out resonates with them. They are looking for a tribe to belong to, and you just sent up a signal flare indicating that you are what they're looking for. I often talk about the value of going to networking events and sharing the mission that I'm on. This has allowed me to meet so many people who resonate with my brand and message. These people included Sam Liccardo, the mayor of San Jose, London Breed, the mayor of San Francisco, California State Senator Scott Wiener, and many others. These conversations led some of them to put me in touch with their staff to determine specifically how rental secrets might be helpful to the audiences they serve. But none of these meetings would have happened if I'd kept my message to myself. So what is your message? Who are you sharing it with? You might be pleasantly surprised at who will take an interest. Number 5, like it or not, you are in sales. Regardless of whether it's in your job description or not, you are first and foremost a salesperson. People shy away from sales because it evokes images of the sleazy used car salesperson, but nothing could be further from the truth. You're selling your toddler on eating their vegetables. You're selling your date on a particular restaurant or outing for the evening. And yes, when you go on a job interview, you're selling the value of your skills to a potential employer. All of this is selling. So don't be ashamed of what you have to offer. Embrace it, because nothing changes until you make the sale. So just to recap, the 5 concepts I wish I'd been told early in my career are: number 1, you have a personal brand. Number 2, you are far more capable than you think. Number 3, relationships are key. Number 4, share your message. And number 5, you are in sales. Taking these concepts to heart will enhance your professional development, as they did mine, after I eventually learned them.